So what are we going to do today? Well, I'm going to show you how you can grab some data from the web, and I'm going to use the Olympics as an example because they're starting tonight, and I think this will be a really good way of combining the two, and I'm quite excited for that. So what we're going to do, we're going to go onto a website, we're going to grab the data, we're going to use Power Query to tidy it up, and it's going to throw it out the other way, out the other side in Excel. Obviously there's going to be no medal results in it at the moment because it isn't updated, but let's have a go, let's see how it's done, and it gives you an idea of how you can sometimes, it doesn't always work, but how you can sometimes grab data from the web. So here we are on the web page that I want to use. Not all web pages are created equally, so sometimes you will have to try out different ones. Some won't work, and some of them I've just tried. There might be coding behind them that's stopping them working. They might have been set up differently. This one does, so we'll give this a go, but just be warned that it doesn't always work. So we're going to go to the top and we're going to copy the URL from the address bar at the top of the screen. So let's just Control C or right click and copy that, and then we're going to go into Excel. So if you wanted to practice this was the BBC Sport medals table, so I thought this was quite a good place to start. Okay, so let's go into Excel, and we're going to go into Power Query. So let's go to Data, from Web, which is up here. There's from Web. Okay, and when that comes up, give that a moment. I really need some hold music while this happens. And we're going to paste our URL into here. That's all. Choose OK. And when we do this, it's going to take us into Power Query. So if you've seen one of my other videos, you get an idea of what Power Query is. It's great for manipulating your data. First thing, it's going to ask what table we want to use. So here are all the tables it's found in the website, and it is worth having a little look through them because some of them are going to be similar, but they might not quite be the same. So I'm going to go for table 1, which has got the countries in, it's got the medals in. Few problems here which I can sort out in Power Query. So I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a code there with 3 letters, and that joins into the country name, so I really want to split those two, and there's a few columns that need fiddling around with that. So because of that, I'm going to use the transform data rather than load. So if I loaded it, it'd take it straight into Excel, but transform is going to allow me to make some changes. So let's go transform. Okay, and we're going to go straight into Power Query now. Here we are. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to name the query. So let's go over to the top right, and it's really important you do this, especially if you have lots of queries. So I'm just going to call this one QRY medals. There we go. So that's sorted. Now let's sort this country problem out. So we're going to split it, and if you want to split a column, you need to work out what the common feature is. So in here, if we look, all of the country codes are 3 letters, so that gives me a common feature that I can use to split it. So let's right click on the word country, and I'm going to come right down. There's always a lot in these menus for Power Query, but the one I want is about halfway down, and it says split column. And when I've chosen split column, I'm going to go by number of characters because I know I need the first 3. So let's go by number of characters. Okay, so we get a couple of choices here. I'm going to change the split as well. So I'm going to say once as far left as possible because I don't want it to keep, first of all, I don't want it to keep doing it repeatedly. And I don't want it to be doing it on the right. So we're going to leave it, change it to that, and I'm going to put the number of characters in as 3. Okay, so all I need to do is choose OK. So that will split them. That's looking good so far. So let's give them some names. And to name the column, you just double click. So I'm going to call the first one country code, the second one country, and then I don't know if you've noticed, but in the gold, silver and bronze it tends to double up the G and this S. I think that was because there was a little icon with gold on and a little icon with silver. So I'm just going to double click on each of those, just name them. There we go, and finally the total. Okay, that looks good. So I have got this rank column. I'm going to leave that in there for the moment. I might delete that later on. So all I need to do now is go to the top left, this button over here. I'm just going to draw. There we go, close and load. So that's what I need to do, so I can just go and see that. So close and load. It's going to think about it. It's going to pull the data through from Power Query. Here we are. We're in Excel. My table's there. Got all my countries. It's the table, so it looks good. And I tend to use this. If I'm doing the introduction course, we'll use something like this to practice our totals. We also might go and use it to do some filtering. And then in the more advanced courses, we sometimes do a bit of pivot tables and things. So once I've got this data in, it's really good to be able to work with. And also I can here, now I'm going to test whether this works. If I right click and choose refresh, now if you're linking to a data set, maybe a site, it will often refresh the data. I've had mixed results by refreshing web data, but what we'll do, the Olympics hasn't started yet, but we'll come back when the medals start being awarded and we'll see if the refresh works. So I hope you found this useful, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm all set up. I want to go and watch the Olympics and enjoy. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments. Maybe you've got ideas what you can use this for, and I hope you found it useful. Thanks very much. Bye bye.